studying chapter Land and Interior of Earth, and we have to revise the chapter once again. Let us revise some of the topics once again from the chapter. So I am sharing the screen with all of you, and whenever I'll be asking the question, only that child will switch on the microphone, the name of whom I'll speak. Okay, so let me present my screen to you. The screen is visible to everybody? Okay. So the chapter's name is Land and Interior of the Earth. The chapter's name is Land and Interior of the Earth. In this chapter, we will study about the surface of the Earth and the interior of the Earth. So first of all, let us talk about the surface of the Earth. We all know that the surface of the Earth is covered both by land and water. Like, see this diagram, we see that 79% of the Earth's surface, it is covered with water, and only 21% area of the world's surface is covered with land. So there is a ratio that 1/3 of the Earth's surface is covered by water. It can be easily we can see that in the given map, world map. So again, I'm repeating that 1/3, about 29% of Earth's surface is covered by land, while 71% is covered by water. Land and water, they are not evenly distributed on the Earth. Why? Why it is said so that they are not evenly distributed? Because the water's percentage is 71 and land's percentage is 29. And as we all know that the world's map is having two hemispheres, that is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. The distribution is uneven because the northern hemisphere, it is having more land, and southern hemisphere, it is having more water. So first of all, the ratio of the land and water is given to us. And the second thing which is told to us is that the distribution of water as well as land, it is not even, it is uneven. As northern hemisphere, it is having more land surface, and southern hemisphere, it is having more water surface. So Suryansh, you unmute yourself, beta, first of all. Suryansh, what is the percentage of land and water on the Earth, dear?
72%.
72. Are you sure? And what about the land?
21%.
Karan, you? Yes, 21%. 21% is land and 72%. How it will be 100%, dear? Karan, you tell me, beta. What is the percentage of land and water on the surface of the Earth?
Ma'am, 29 of Earth's surface is covered with land and 71% is covered with water.
Very nice. 29% is covered with land and 71% is covered with water. Okay, Navya, you tell me which hemisphere is having more water. Navya, are you getting me? Which hemisphere is having more water? Yes? Tell me, beta. Yes, southern hemisphere is having more water and northern hemisphere is having more land. Okay. So let us resume to our screen once again. Now this distribution of land and water, it is of great importance. The first importance is that it is having a global impact on the climatic pattern. We all know that when we compare land and water, water takes time to heat up and cool down as compared to land, because land is cooling as well as heating up instantly, while this ocean or sea water takes time. So this act as a great reserve of heat because they are heating up as well as cooling down really slowly. Secondly, oceans are the main source of moisture and consequently the rainfall. How come the oceans are a great source of moisture? Because oceans, the water of the oceans, when it gets heated up, it converts into water vapor by the process of evaporation. And then the clouds are formed, and via the process of condensation, consequently, it brings the rainfall. Thus, the area surrounded by the oceans, they have more rains than vast land surfaces. So what we say, the areas of the world which are covered, which are surrounded by the oceans, they have more rainfall as compared to the land surfaces. Now, the distribution of sea, it is also having a great impact on pollution. The areas which are covered by land, they are more polluted than the areas covered by water. And the last thing is that these boundaries of oceans as well as continents, they provide natural boundaries to many countries of the world. So this is the importance of oceans which is given to us. So first of all, it is having an impact on the climatic pattern. Second, they are the main source of rainfall. Third, lands. The area covered by land, they are more polluted as compared to oceans. And the last one, the boundaries of oceans and continents, they also act as natural boundaries for many countries. Okay, Garvita, are you here? Garvita, are you there, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
She's not in the class? Yes. Out of land and water, which of both of them takes time to get heat up? Or which heats slowly? Out of land and water, which things heats up slowly? Land or water?
Excuse me, Pooja ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry
Yes, ma'am.
for disturb you. All of you turn on video. Please turn on video, all of you. Ankita, turn on video.
ma'am, land.
Beta. Yes. Land.
Okay.
It takes time. It takes time. No. Yes, Arushi, you tell me. Out of land and water, which source takes time to get heat up? Arushi, are you listening?
Water.
Yes, water takes
Water.
time to get heat up. Yes, water is acting as a reserve
Ma'am,
of
water.
heat. Why? Because whatever the water, yes, I'm saying yes, dear. Plain water is the answer. Okay. Now you can mute yourself. Let us switch to the next topic: interior structure of the Earth. The screen is visible, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the next topic is interior of the earth. Yesterday only I told you about the interior structure of the earth. Today I want to share with you all. Okay. Let me present my screen to you once again, everybody. First of all, can anybody tell me about the 3 layers of the earth? Any one of you? Yes, Navi. Tell me.
Ma'am, there are 3 layers from which earth is made of. The first one is the crust, which extends
Okay.
from 5 kilometers to 40 kilometers.
Only the names. Tell me only the names of the 3 layers. Only the names.
Mantle and core.
Yes, the 3 layers are the crust, mantle, and core. The outermost layer is crust. Then in middle layer we are having mantle, and the innermost layer we are having core. So let me share a video with all of you. Turn on off your microphone, please. Just a minute. The screen is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Turn off your microphone.
In this video, we're going to read about the
Is the sound audible to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
The video is audible?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay, now I'm turning it on.
Yes, ma'am.
basically this represents the interior of the Earth divided into different layers. So we're going to read about each one of them. The first layer is the crust. It is the outermost solid part of the Earth, basically this region over here. It is in nature because during an Earth, it is the crust that breaks easily, causing a fault. And we know that the material increases, we go more and more deep. Therefore, the materials which are available in the crust have low density.
Okay, so according to this video, as we all know that there are 3 layers of the earth and crust is the outermost layer of the earth. And the things, the materials that are present in the crust, they are brittle in nature. They can break down easily. Brittle means they break down easily. So as and when we are moving from crust to the interior layers of the earth, the density, it increases. The density of the materials increases, but the density in the crust, it is lower. So let me resume the video once again.
The thickness of the crust varies under the oceanic and continental areas. And this is obvious because ocean is like a cavity filled with water. If you remember Mariana Trench Pacific, it is the deepest known part of the world's oceans with a depth of 10,994 meters, almost 11 kilometers downwards. The mean thickness of oceanic crust is 5 kilometers, whereas that of the continental is around 5 kilometers. So if you drill on the ocean bed and you go 5 kilometers deep, probably you'll touch the next layer of the earth, which is the upper mantle. Similarly, if you drill on a continental crust, it will take around 30 kilometers to reach the upper mantle. Again, the thickness of the crust will be more near the areas of mountains, and you can figure out as to why. It is as much as 70 kilometers thick in the Himalayan region. Again, we know that Himalaya was formed due to the collision of plates. When 2 continental plates collide, it folds the rocks at the boundary, lifting it up and leading to formation of mountains and ranges. Therefore, the thickness of the crust in these regions will be naturally higher. The second layer is the mantle. This region over here is called as the mantle. So right from the end of the crust till the outer core is a region that is 2,900 kilometers thick. The upper portion of the mantle is called asthenosphere, but this region and the crust together is called lithosphere. Astheno means weak, and due to its weakness, the magma finds way to the surface during volcanic eruption. Now the total thickness of the crust and upper mantle, which is also known as the lithosphere, is 200 kilometers. The lower mantle extends beyond the asthenosphere and is in solid state. This layer is also responsible for all Earth's volcanic and
Please turn off your microphones, everybody.
seismic activity because 2,900 kilometer thickness is pretty spacious area for the formation of such natural catastrophes. Laboratory experiments on rocks and minerals say that between 100 and 200 kilometers below the Earth's surface, the temperature of the rock is near the melting point. Therefore, molten rock erupted by some volcanoes originates in this region of the mantle. Remember this, the core of the Earth consists of nickel and iron, but here in the mantle, it is the molten rock that is fluid and can move. It is this fluidity that powers the movement of the tectonic plates of the Earth's crust. The third and the final layer is the core. core comprises of the inner as well as outer core. Now, moments back, we have read the thickness of the mantle is 2,900 kilometers. So after that, immediately the boundary of outer core will begin. The outer core is in liquid state, while the inner core is in solid state. I've made a short video on this curious question. If at all you're interested in finding out the answer, head to the link in the description and find out. So the density of the material at the core is going to be the highest. And we have repeatedly read this, that the density of materials increases as we go more and more deep inside the earth. The core is made up of very heavy material, mostly constituted by nickel and iron. It is sometimes referred to as the knife layer. So Ni and Fe are abbreviations of nickel and iron. Remember this term knife layer. As we know that the Earth's core is divided into two layers, the outer and inner core. The outer core borders the Earth's mantle and is approximately 2,300 kilometers in thickness. The inner core has a thickness of 1,200 kilometers, giving the core a combined thickness of 3,500 kilometers. The outer core consists of nickel and iron in molten state, with a temperature range between 4,000 to 5,000 degrees Celsius. The inner core, on the other hand, is composed mostly of iron and has a temperature range between 5,000 to 7,000 degrees Celsius. And the inner core is mostly solid. This was all about the structure of the Earth, which are divided into separate layers, and hopefully you have gained some meaningful context regarding it.
So the video was audible to everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So yesterday only.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Turn off your microphone once again. Yesterday only I told you about all the three layers of the earth. And we discussed about the characteristics of all the layers. We also discussed about the variety of materials that are present in each layer. And we also discussed about that how the temperature and density, when we are moving from the crust to deep inside the core, how they are getting affected. So everything was visible in the video. So now let me take this topic theoretically and ask you a few questions. Let me share my screen once again with you, so that I can explain you this topic again. Yes, so we are talking about the interior structure of the earth, and as in the video we studied that interior structure of the earth, it is made up of crust, mantle and core. Now talking about the crust, first of all, it is the solid outermost covering, okay, and its thickness, it varies from 5 to 40 kilometers. We have already seen in the video. When it comes to the thickness of continents, the continents are more thicker as compared to thinner. Why? Because oceans are a cavity of the crust filled with water. So when we are comparing the thickness of crust under oceans and continents are more thicker. Now when we talk about the crust, it is made up of a variety of rocks. They are brittle in nature. It is the layer of the earth that sustains life. This interior structure of the earth is having three layers, and out of all these three layers, crust is the layer which sustains life, because in this layer all the continents, all the islands are present. So this was about crust that we saw in the video as well. This is the diagram of the interior structure of the earth. Now under the crust or below the crust, we are having the second layer, and the second layer is known as mantle. Mantle is having two parts, the upper mantle and the lower mantle. Okay, and the innermost layer of the earth, it is known as core. And the core is again divided into two parts, that is outer core and inner core. Thickness of crust, it is around 5 kilometers to 40 kilometers. But when it comes to the thickness of mantle, it is around 2,900 kilometers. It is the average thickness of the mantle. And Crust is separated by a boundary via Mohoviric discontinuity. This is the name of a boundary that is present between crust and the upper mantle. And this Mohoviric discontinuity, it is named after a scientist, a geologist. The name of the geologist is Andrija Mohorovičić. He discovered the mantle into two sections. So when the crust and mantles, they are separated by a boundary, and that boundary is known as Moho's discontinuity. Then I am talking about the core. Core is again divided into outer core and inner core. Outer core is composed of iron and it is in liquid state. And inner core is composed of both nickel and iron. In the video also it was told that nickel and iron, they are referred by the symbol Ni and Fe. So mostly inner core is said to be composed of knife materials, as the symbol of nickel is Ni and the symbol of iron is Fe. So I hope everybody has got the information related with the interior structure of the earth. Anybody is having any problem, you can ask me right now. Any problem is there within the topic?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let me ask you some questions. Mute yourself, everyone. Rishi, you unmute yourself, beta. Into how many parts we have divided the mantle?
2 parts, outer mantle and inner mantle.
Okay, what is the average thickness of the mantle? Can you tell me?
It extends from 5 kilometers to 40 kilometers.
Okay, very nice. Mute yourself again. Yes, Madhu, are you listening to me? Unmute yourself, dear. Okay, am I audible to you, Madhu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, below the crust, we are having mantle as told by Rishi. You tell me, out of these 3 layers, crust, mantle and core, which is the layer that supports life? What is the name of that layer that supports life? Out of crust, mantle and core, which layer supports life? Okay, you don't know the answer?
No, ma'am.
Okay, it's all okay, beta. Yes, Navya, you tell me. Which layer of the earth supports life? Am I audible, Navya? Yes, what is the answer? Crust, okay. Rishi? No, this one is Harshvardhan,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Harshvardhan, are you there? Harshvardhan?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you tell me why the crust is sustaining life. What makes the crust to sustain life? Okay, who is going to tell me this answer? Any one of you?
Ma'am, can I tell?
Yes, beta. Please.
Ma'am, because crust has all 3 things, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere.
Okay. Very
And
nice.
when these all 3 things are formed on Earth, it is called biosphere.
Very nice. All
And
these
biosphere
three,
is present on crust.
very nice. When all these 3 things are there, that is atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere, they provide the adequate conditions to live on the surface of the earth. That is why we say that crust is providing all the materials here. The crust is the layer which helps to sustain life. Okay. Suryansh,
Yes, ma'am.
unmute yourself. What is the boundary between crust and mantle called as?
Ma'am, Mohoviric discontinuity.
Okay, it's Mohoviric discontinuity. Very nice. Yes, Atul and Ishant. Am I audible to both of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you tell me, कि this Mohovoric discontinuity, it is named after one geologist. What is the name of that geologist? Who else is there who can give the answer? Nitesh, Arushi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the name of the geologist after whom the Mohoviric's discontinuity has been named?
Ma'am, Andreja Mohoviric.
Andreja Mohoviric. Very nice, dear. Garvita, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Into how many parts we can divide core, beta?
Ma'am, 2.
Okay, what are the names?
Ma'am, inner core and outer core.
Very nice. Inner core and outer core. Very nice. Can you tell me the difference between inner core and outer core? What is the exact difference? Please, those who are not giving the answer, switch off their microphones. Okay, Karan, you tell me what is the difference between inner core and outer core? What is the basic difference between inner core and outer core?
Ma'am, outer core is consist of liquid state and inner core is consist of solid state.
The materials that are present in outer core, they are in liquid molten state, and the materials that are present in inner core, they are in solid state. Can anybody tell me about knife material? What is knife material? N-I-F-E, knife material. Karan is ready to give the answer. Who else is there? Okay, Suryansh, will you tell me about knife materials? What are knife materials? Tell me. Tell me, Suryansh.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Knife is consist of two materials, nickel and iron,
They are
nickel,
both. They are
found
not
in inner
material.
core.
Wait a minute, dear. They are not material. When combinedly we are saying they're material, but when you are saying nickel and iron, they are the elements. Name of the elements. Okay. Now tell me the symbols of the elements, nickel and iron.
Ma'am, nickel is presented in Ni and iron is presented in Fe. That's why it is called knife here.
They are the symbols of nickel and iron respectively. That is why we are saying them knife. Okay. So that is all for today. Now listen to the homework very carefully, everybody. First of all, you need to go through the chapter till the topic has ended. Okay. I will be sharing the e-content with your class teacher. Please get the e-content from there. And whatever questions I will send to you, kindly write them and send on my mail ID. Need not to WhatsApp, only you have to mail the homework. If any problem is there, you can ask me one by one right now.
Ma'am, what is meaning? Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
Ma'am, what is meaning of e-content? PDF.
E-content is whatever the learning material we are sending you online. Okay, that is
Yes, ma'am.
e-content, like email. Mail is coming
Yes,
to you. It is coming via internet. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is email. So e-content is the material that is coming to you via internet. Through your phone, you can open any book in the world. That is e-content. I hope you understand.
Okay, ma'am.
Any other problem is there? Very nice. Any other problem is there? Okay, so one by one, you may leave the class, all of you. Take care, all of you. Stay blessed. Okay.
Bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Bye,
beta,
ma'am.
bye.
Bye,
Ma'am, thank you.